Good day, mates. I was looking at my last couple video diaries and I was like, huh, the fucking sports bra. You're gonna think I'm a dirty bitch. See, I got fresh shower here now. But it's the only bra I can fit now that my boobs are under reconstruction. I went to the freaking bra store and they got the biggest size they could get and it didn't fit. And it was like, we can order you one. And I'm like, I ain't even gonna have these that long. It's good. So y'all, I had to hop on here. I wasn't even going to do this today because I have a lot of readings I'm still doing. But life, right? I hopped on the computer and I saw I had no more space. So I ended up having to delete like 50 videos that I had recorded um, during this summer because all my space was gone. I still have things I need to delete. And it's a lot, but whatever. This message came through earlier because I started getting a wave that certain things were occurring, in particular uh, for females in regards to sex, which is not a subject I tend to like jump into to tell people what the fuck they should be doing. But we are in a war phase, y'all. Every person, every human has an oversoul. Sometimes that oversoul is A1. Sometimes that oversoul is not. So where did I want to start this? Like so much time went by since I was supposed to start this video, but the message was heavy on me when I was in the shower. See, this is my shower here. So I was in there doing my salt bath because lately I have been getting like hella headaches, stuff that was wearing on me. And it occurred to me that it had something to do with my spiritual hubby, right? So I'm waiting on the universe to give me a sign. I, as I keep telling y'all, I've been trying to connect or disconnect, sorry, from social media and anything that'll send me a message through freaking algae rhythm. Just let me see stuff in my day-to-day life. So I go to turn on TV, my favorite channel on Muggle TV. On regular TV, it's sci-fi appropriate. It's always been my favorite thing. My mom used to make us watch sci-fi movies all the time. So I go to the sci-fi channel, right? Invisible Man is on. Not the Kevin Bacon one, although that's a classic, it's the new one. And when that movie came out, I was fucked up. Because that has been what has been happening to me for like the last, no, since that movie came out. It was like perfectly synced. Uh, so this week, I've been trying to figure out how the fuck do you cut a cord with a being that you do not have a cord with, right? I've been telling y'all about the spirit hubby. I get messages, I get signs, like, and it's getting progressively like heavier. Like, I'll go out to eat and the waiter will have the human's name. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because this is only intensified since that weird ritual thing that happened. Check my spiritual warfare video for that. Every time I think about it, I still pause. So as I am thinking of what I can do to stop the drain on my energy, I get a sign. And let me flip my screen right quick. So the invisible man was on there. That just let me know that I wasn't tripping. It appears that what occurred is there is a being, a spirit, a guy that I usually spend every life with. We got into a fight like 100 years ago, and we pretty much been avoiding each other for the lives in between, still upset with each other. In this life, he's a very powerful dude. How power works here is the more people that know your name, just like in the movie Coco, if you haven't seen that, the more people that know your name, the more power your astral body has to do things. So when he reached the pinnacle in his career in this life, the human part I'm talking about right now, he came to visit me. Like he got what he wanted in his life. He has exactly what he wanted. But his soul came to see what the fuck his life would have been like if he had been with me in this life. Right? So he didn't make himself known at first. He had been watching me for a while just to see like what it would have been to be with me. He wanted to know what type of person I was. And during that time of watching me, I guess something happened with his soul. He decided, holy shit, I kind of miss my wife. I should do something to make us get back together. Hence why the ritual even happened. So during this time, because I knew I wasn't losing my mom, but there was no basis for me understanding it. I saved every video I got, every message that I got, every song that came to me that I knew was a message. And I asked, because I mean, there was no point in me asking or asking, acting like I don't realize that there is a spirit or that his oversoul is talking to me. So I was like, I have all this information, but you know what? It's been almost a year since I did what was requested. And I came in person twice. Y'all, I was in the club. I don't even go to the club. I went to the club in Jordans with my evening gown because I'm not about to have my feet hurt. But I did what was requested and the human didn't show up. So I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe all these messages and all these signs, I'm being gaslit. I'm being played with. This is a demon in disguise. I'm fucked up. But he said, if I had been in your life, how often do you think I would have wrote you if I had been brave enough to reach out to you? I'm like, I don't know. He was like, every day, all the messages that you have kept, all the songs and the synchronicities were the things I would have sent to you, or the text messages or the songs, because I thought about you every day since I met you. I just didn't know what to say because the situation is weird. And I'm like, so this is the message I got this morning. Is it showing up? And it says, since she's about to move on and cut the cord just as they're arriving. And I was like, cut the cord. Cut the freaking cord. How would I have a cord? Right? I had to show y'all that. So y'all see, like, this is what happens to me. I get an idea about something, then a message pops up. And I was like, hold on. Because we had sex in the astral a lot. I got stigmatized by a soul that created the cord. And that's why I was able to, like, the first night that I met him, a couple days before that, the whole weekend, I think I told this story, but it applies right now, so I need to tell it again. That whole week I had been getting ready, and I thought I was getting ready for a photo shoot to redo pictures for my website. So I went out to a restaurant like on a Wednesday, right? Being cute, excited, I'm fancy, and I'm like, hey, let's go ride around downtown. And as we ride around downtown, I see this dude, I see him, the physical human of this person, checking into his loft downtown on a cut street in the side, right? And I'm like, there's no way I should know where this man is. But our telepathic link has been like this since we had astral sex. There are times that I will see him in my dreams and he'll look a certain way. And I'm like, it doesn't even look like that on a regular basis. But then when I see his picture online the next day, it's because he's changed his hair and he looks exactly what he looked like in my dream. So no, this is not a trick, or this is just something like higher level beyond me that I didn't know was possible, but I am extending this information to you guys because I learned something important. So, uh, during this process, I have been learning how to recover from sexual abuse, the cords, and all that stuff that I didn't know about. I'm about to share my screen again. Here we go. So this guy, this couple actually created a series of books. And these books talk about sex from a spiritual perspective. I actually ended up getting this bundle here. And this is cosmicsexuality.com, right? Let me bring me up. Ah, y'all. So I started with the learning to love, because your vibration, your frequency, what you attract is not based upon what you say you want only or what's out here. It's based upon what's in your core. When you enter a human body, your chakras, your soul enters your body through your chakra so that you become this consciousness inside of this human, right? But the remnants of whatever you have went through in other lives also plug into these chakras. So if you have had sexual trauma from a past life, guess what? Something is going to go on in your womb. In every other life, I can look back now. I was not every, like in the beginning, before the trauma happened, I was able to have kids. But in between, my womb was so messed up in every life. I get endometriosis and I keep losing my kids. I don't get to have them. In this life, my first child came from, I can't even say it was a date rape. I was with my boyfriend at a party. We were all drinking. My boyfriend left me to go get further drunk somewhere else, and one of his friends assaulted me because my boyfriend left me there. That's how I had my first child. And then after that, it just sort of rumbled. Right now, I have endometriosis and I have to go get surgery and all this stuff, because if I had waited till now, what would have happened? I wouldn't have kids. So there is a reason for everything, by the way, guys, even when you don't understand. But in doing this book, I was able to recognize a lot of internal patterns. And there is nothing better than realizing you ain't got to fix no dude. You don't have to fix a guy. All you have to do is fix you, and then somebody will line up with it. And you know what happens when they don't line up with it? You realize it from the beginning and you cut it off before you even get all confused about what you're doing. So in doing these books, I have one more left now. I actually got this third one. That's my last one about when you finally get with a partner. I don't have a partner right now. I am my partner, but TMI guys, since doing this book, I've had more fun with myself than I've had with anybody physically, if you get my drift. So every time you hook up with a partner, you link chakras, you share energy, right? And then you separate and go back about your lives. That's not the end of it. It's like when a mosquito sticks themselves in you. But in this case, the person is leaving a tether inside of you. So that person doesn't even have to come back and have sex with you again for them to still be feeding off your energy. You ever been in a relationship where you had a really good beginning, everything was great, and then you had sex and slowly like this person starts being iffy and edgy and playing with your feelings and you feeling more drained and more sad and you don't know why you can't just say fucking let it go. It's because that person still has their cord in you. They are still feeding off of you. And that, my friends, is what's going on here in this spiritual war. Uh, I don't like to push my beliefs on people, but this page is sort of based on what I have discovered during my own search and what has been working. When I first did this book, I did a clearing. They have instructions for clearing it. And what you do is you, in your third eye, you bring the person in. And it's crazy because you can actually pull somebody's soul in to talk to them. And then you'll see a reaction to it in the real world afterwards. So I did that. And I had to pull out cords that you could see in your third eye from anybody I had been intimate with before in any way. So for the dude that I had been with for a gazillion years, when I went to go pull out the cords, I was surprised because the cord wasn't like really that thick in my womb. Because you know, you visually pull it out. It was only like this big. It wasn't that big in my womb. But the one in the back of my head, which I was not expecting, was huge. So no, this was a mind fuck, which is pretty much what the relationship was. So I waited to have sex with this person. I still tell everybody, wait to have sex because the energy vampires out there, especially now, there are dudes who don't even know what they're aiming for because their soul is doing it. But once they get it, they get turned off and they disappear. That's in this book. It turns out every time a dude releases or gets what he wants, just his animalistic male nature, it starts to turn him off towards the female because there's something about him losing his power through his jizz. Like every time he releases, the connection to you becomes less magnetic. That whole series broke down how you can change that through retention, how you can actually make the sex better, blah, 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 blah. After I pulled out those cords, my period started like right away. I have not had as many problems with my endometriosis, my depression, any of the stuff that I had going on. Because I did wait to have sex with him. I did marry him. I vetted him. We were friends for a very long time. Ahead of that, I did everything that I thought was right. But none of that has anything to do with the fact that he likes boys. So I had a relationship for 20 years. And I believe the method I went through still worked, but I can't do anything about the fact that he needs both. I'm not a person that is really okay with sharing somebody. It's not going to build the foundation that I want spiritually. And that's important for me. So now I'm able to be friends with him without having a sexual relationship. And it's better than ever. The love only turned into something else. I didn't have to lose my friend because of something that he could not control. Why would I hold that against him? We tried, we had kids. We made a pact with each other that if we did not marry anybody by 25, we would marry each other. When do we get married? 25. So he may not have had children with somebody else because other females have a really hard time accepting men who are bisexual. So I believe that there is something great in play, even when you don't understand, even when it doesn't go how you meant for it to go. But if I am going to be teaching you guys how to do this right to not get your heart broken, don't sleep with these dudes. Lately, I've been, and I feel so bad because I get personally like invested, and I guess I got to stop that and doing stuff with clients where I'm talking to a female and she really likes a guy. And I'll be like, all right, just make sure you take it slow. And then she will tell me that she's already slept with him. Or if I'm like, all right, just don't do it because you ain't did it yet. Then the next time I talk to her, she has slept with him. And then a couple weeks later, what happens? I don't know what happened with the guy. It just went left. Okay, so that negative repellent is a reflection of all the gunk that needs to come up in you. Every part of self that you, I guess, hold against yourself. Suddenly that person reflects it back to you. When you get rejected, you start thinking about all the things you hate about yourself. You can skip that step. Don't give them none, but sit down with yourself and take back your power. What is it that you don't like about yourself? Why don't you like it? Learn to love it. You want to attract somebody who loves you like you. And if you ain't loving you right, baby, guess what you're going to get? Somebody who shows you that you need to love you first. And in the beginning of this journey, that's what I hated most. Getting that damn love yourself first card. And I'd be like, what you mean I do love myself? But no, if you actually think about it, it takes like loving yourself is not only loving the good parts of you, it's realizing that some days you wake up shitty. Some days you just have bad traits, period. We all do. But accepting those, just saying, oh man, sometimes I'm actually kind of bitchy, but that's loving who you are in totality and not seeking somebody else to see it in you and be like, I love you anyway, baby, for you to say, oh, I guess I can love myself. Stop waiting for permission from somebody else or somebody else to come along to love you enough for you to love yourself, because that's where the thing keeps going wrong. If you still have questions in your mind about whether you are lovable or whether you deserve it or whether you'll ever find somebody, guess what you're going to keep getting? Somebody that matches that energy within you. So it's really important, as much as it sucks, that during your time by yourself, you're actually digging through stuff. There are a lot of hurt people out here that have no business dating. Some of them aren't even dating. They're on Tinder or whatever the app may be, and they're out here with other people who want to date, other people who want to get in relationships. They don't want to get in a relationship, but they'll pretend because they still want to get laid. They still need that supply of energy, which goes back to the core thing that is important today. So after I found out that I have a cord from getting astrally dick down, I was like, all right, so what was the point of this cord? What was the energy that was being pushed into me and pushed out of me, right? And I pulled that right before here because I was bothered. So the spirit hubby was pushing in fear, surrender, and growth. All of that energy was to keep me abstinent, to make me go see him, and for the idealization, is that the word? Ideation is the word. To grow. And it was really bothering me. It was like constantly on my mind. So I'm like, all right, I understand that. He wanted me to come find him because he sort of realized that his life would be better if he had made up with me in this life. So with that being said, I was like, hold on, this is not a one-way street. What is happening to him on his end, right? So his soul, which is of course connected to his human, decided that it was gonna do stuff to him too to push us together because he realized if I was in his human life, his human's life would be better. So I'm over here thinking this guy's not writing me, he's not talking to me. Like I see little messages, little winks and stuff he sends like subliminally. I'm like, no, I'm tripping, but no. Sadness, inability to sleep, stomach hurt, anxiety, all of this stuff trying to push him towards me to find out what the answer is. So we were both being pushed by his soul, who decided like, hey, I know we thought we weren't going to make it together in this lifetime, but I've had some time to sit back and I actually observed your character, and damn, I got what I wanted, but I missed what I had. So I am still going to, now that I know there's a cord, and I didn't know before, I am going to go through the process that is listed in that book. Don't forget cosmosexuality.com if you guys are interested in getting the books to heal yourself from the inside out, because your magnet is based on what's inside. And in your past life, you could have been forced to be a prostitute, a bordello. So what do you get in this life? Dudes who try to pimp you, or you get your old Johns, men that come around for your sex and you don't understand why the relationships aren't working. And it's because there's old stuff in your energy not cleared out. So that was my message for today. Stop giving it up to these dudes. There are a lot of rules here that seem outdated, that seemed shitty. Like the women who wear the hijabs or cover their hair, right? Over here, we're like, oh, why do you have to cover your hair? Like, when Americans go perform over there, they have to adhere to their rules. The reason that you covered your hair and your body is because if a demonic or a lower level entity saw you and was attracted to your beauty, they would find the nearest dude that was a vibrational match for that to come get your ass. The same rule now. The reason you didn't have sex before marriage is because it creates a cord. And when you create a cord with multiple people, you are messing up your own energy. You're cursing yourself. That's what happens when somebody takes your energy. Suddenly your good luck, your good juju goes down. You might have had a good winning streak, and then suddenly your car breaks down. You lose your job. All sorts of stuff starts to happen. And then you notice that that person is blowing up because guess what? They are pulling from your heart energy, from your blessing that you gave out because you didn't know how special you were. And this goes both ways because there are females who do this also. I know I talk to ladies a lot because I went and looked at the demographics, and there are 97% of you that are female here. But guys, this counts too. Somebody can latch onto your energy. What are those things? Like a leech. They can have sex with you one time. And if you don't clear that cord, they've been still pouring. So sit down and think about how many people you have slept with. Think about your energy right now. How do you feel? Are there any feelings in you that you just haven't been able to get rid of and they don't make sense? Are there days when your life is going perfect and you still sort of feel like, guess what? Somebody else is in your energy. So I was going to originally write like a little poem or something because I didn't know there was a cord that I could get rid of. But now that I have figured out the answer, I can set me and him free. And I know somehow he's going to see this. Like, dude, I'm aware. I can't pretend I'm not aware that sort of kind of what's going on here because you've been watching, you've been lurking because you couldn't avoid it because your soul has been trying to poke you to go talk to me because I can solve a lot of the questions that you have running around in your head because you drive yourself crazy overthinking, but then you're nervous and you backtrack. I am not one to be afraid of. I would love to help you solve the mysteries in your mind and to get rid of all these issues. And most of all, I would like to thank you for all the times that you have risked yourself in order to help me because I have now a Rolodex of memories of times that we have lived and died together. So, with that being said, I am going to undo this cord thing. And then the fear and the anxiety and the discomfort that was working to try to push us together in this 3D will stop. I don't know what his astral body is going to do or if this will make his human come forward or maybe not. But I trust that all things happen for a reason, as I have given examples in this video. And I hope that this helps somebody else with their situation. Clink, clink, lock it down. If you knew that the power that God gave you came through your canal, I'm pretty sure you'd be more protective of it. Sex is not just sex, it is creation energy. It is the most powerful thing you can do on this planet. And right now, we are at a time when they are making everybody think that it is not important because it is, because they are getting the majority of their power, and I'm referring to the loosh energy, through these depraved sexual acts. And by depraved, I mean things that are not coming from love. If it is not coming from love, it is creating loosh energy, energy that can be sucked up and snorted by the lower level entities to help them live. Now, when you are in a relationship that is two people, you have synced, you are sacred, you are only tapping into each other. Guess what? That allows you to bring more source into you. And then you'll see your life blossom. You'll see it grow together because it is equal. It is symbiotic instead of a parasitic relationship. A lot of you are drawing in parasitic relationships based on a perceived lack within yourself. You think because you don't have a partner, you are missing something. And what you are missing is that you are the best partner you will ever have. And that's the only way you're going to get that good one. So I believe my first experiment went well. To be with somebody for 20 years is an accomplishment. I believe that the next run, I'll make it to the end. And that is the way it was meant to work. So I'll keep y'all up to date on how my experiment, Operation Clink Clink, keep it to yourself, goes. Because my energy feels better already. I'm imagining I am going to be on 10 once I get ghosted out of my energy. So y'all have a great day.